Hi guys, Natalie here at the Air Zoo. I have a super fun project for you guys today. We are going to be making some DIY kites, so when the weather is warmer, you guys will be able to go out and fly your kites. So to start, we have some really basic materials here that you should have at home or that you can scrounge around. So we do have a template that we'll be using, and we will post that with the video as well, but we have a kite template here. We will need some scissors, a hole punch. You do need some string. Now this is actual polyester kite string, but you don't need actual kite string, just something that is gonna be thin and lightweight, nothing really bulky or too thick. So you do want some string. You'll also want some markers, colored pencils, crayons, whatever you'd like to decorate with. You'll need 2 straws. If they're bendy, you might wanna reinforce that bendy part with some tape, but otherwise the non-bendy straws will work the best. Some tape. Some either crepe paper will work really well for the tails, or you can also use strips of tissue paper, even strips of garbage bag will work. And then you'll also need a kite handle. I have used a craft stick here, but you could also use just a strip of cardboard, or a pencil even will work. And I have some string wrapped around that, and I'll tell you about that in just a little bit. So that's the supplies you'll need. So you'll want to cut out your kite template. So we've got our kite template cut out here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take some tape and we're going to reinforce these little corners here, and it actually says tape on there. So go ahead and put some tape on, because we're going to be tying a knot in these corners in a little bit and we don't want that corner to rip. So that's why we're reinforcing it with some tape. So just reinforce with some Scotch tape there. And if it bothers you, you can kind of cut off these edges if you would like to be a little bit precise there. And then you're going to take your hole punch, and you're going to punch right in that black dot there. So 2 holes. All right. So you've got your holes punched there. And then for the next step is where you can decorate color. This is the front, or the side of the kite that will be showing when you're flying it. So you can decorate on this side. You could decorate on the other side if you'd like, but this is the side that will be showing when you're flying your kite. So go ahead and decorate that however you wish at this point. And then when you're all done with that step, you're going to need to cut a 15-inch piece of that kite string, or lightweight string that you're going to be using. So 15 inches of that string. This is going to be called the bridle. And what we're going to do is we're just going to tie that on each corner. So just a simple double knot. You want it nice and tight so that it doesn't come undone when you're flying that kite. Get a knot tied in there. And you're going to do that to either end. Now, when you do the second end, you don't want the string to be tight like this. You want to leave some loose in the middle. So just make sure to kind of leave some string in the middle there and don't make it super tight. So tie that knot nice and tight, and then see how we have some loose string in the middle there. So this is the bridle, all right? So next, and actually you could do this step before the string if it's a little bit easier, but next you're going to take those straws and you're just going to tape those on that dotted line. So I'm going to use some Scotch tape to tape those on. And this is just going to give the kite some support when you're flying it so that it's not too floppy. So do that on either side on that dotted line. And then, I'm going to make sure that string is still kind of in the middle, not wound around these straws at all. And then, for your handle, like I said, I've used a craft stick here, and I have wound 4 arms lengths of string around this craft stick. So whatever you think will kind of be long enough. You want a nice long string to fly your kite with, but not super, super long. So like I said, I've just kind of wound that around. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tie one of the loose end to the bridle. And the way you do this is a little bit up to you. If you tie it so that you leave a little bit of some movement, room for some movement in there, see that I'm not kind of tying it real tight to the bridle. I'm going to leave a little loop there which will kind of help my kite move a little bit more freely in the air. There we go. So see now that can kind of move along the bridle here like this. But if you do tie it tight, it'll still work, no biggie. So then when you fly it, you can unwind this handle as you fly. But we do need one more thing. We need some tails. And like I said, we're gonna use crepe paper here, like these paper streamers that you can find for birthday parties and stuff like that. But also if you tie long strips of, cut long strips of tissue paper or even garbage bag, that will work also. You want your tails to be pretty long. And it's up to you if you do 2 tails, 3 tails, get creative with it. I'm gonna do 2 different colors here. We've got some yellow and purple. I'm gonna be nice and long. So, here we're gonna tape our tails to the bottom of the kite, which is this portion here. And I'm gonna actually flip it over so that I can tape it to what would be way up in the sky. You're not gonna see it quite as much, so that's where I'm gonna tape it. But again, you can tape it on the front too if you'd like. I'm gonna put that yellow kind of in the middle and tape those tails on really good. You don't want those to fly off in the wind. But you also don't want to add too much tape either, because that'll make it a little bit too heavy. So go light with the tape, but enough to keep those tails really secured on there. All right, and then one more. That. And like I said, this portion of the kite will be way up in the sky when you're flying it, so you really won't see kind of the uneven edges there. But when you flip it over, you'll have your kite tails nice and long like this. So when you're all done, I have a little bit of an air zoo design on this one. We've got our long tails. I don't have my handle tied to this one, but when you're all done, you'll be able to go outside and kind of unwind your handle, and your kite will kind of fly freely in the air like this. Now, a couple of reminders when you're ready to go fly your kite. Make sure not to fly your kite in inclement weather such as rain or thunderstorms, things like that. And also for these particular kites, you won't want to fly them when it's super, super windy out because the fact of the matter is they are a little fragile. So you're going to want to fly it in kind of a nice light breeze would be good, or even running behind with your kite behind you will also work. Also, don't fly your kites too close to streets or rooftops or trees or things like that because you don't want to lose your kite on a roof or in the trees or things like that. So that is all for this kite activity. Again, this will be super fun when it starts to warm up later this week. Get some time outside, fly your kites, and get creative with them. Make designs, make them bright and colorful, and have fun with it. We'll see you later, guys.